Just got the second half of my wisdom teed out, Jeff. Thanks for being entertaining. How much longer are we streaming for today? We've got, this is the last league of the afternoon. Favorite modern deck at the moment. Don't really have one. I've been waiting on this one for a few days. What's going on, Tino? Yeah, it seems pretty good. Thank you for the bits. You only need 80 points for tomorrow because we're going to burn down Moto anyways. Nope, that's just pure red-green Valakut. Which, this hand looks a little bit like red-green Valakut, but the fact that this deck has Spirit Guides in it makes it a little bit different, especially through the breaches as well. This isn't a fair deck. This is a combo deck. You can imagine that. Easy Stomping Ground rather than fetching. Wow, the weather report is kind of scary. Well, hopefully the tornado sirens are work. Ooh. Ooh. Do you have a Linux distro you'd recommend? Just Ubuntu. It depends on what you're looking to do. If you're someone who's never touched Linux before, I would recommend checking out Linux Mint. Old Persian Rug with the brand new Twitch Prime support. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. Welcome. Thanks for keeping me employed. Yeah, the project that I work on is definitely great on older systems. I use it on my high-powered system here as well. Spell Snare. That's rude. So we get to Through the Breach this Primeval Titan next turn. And Abzan Aristocrats for donation deck. You need to send me an exact deck list. Go to Scoop Step. I always need to see specifics. Never say yes or no without them. For a Raspberry Pi, I'd recommend just getting a Chromecast or a Fire Stick. Unless you're doing like some kind of scientific stuff, a Raspberry Pi is not a good media device. There aren't really any good, like, these are free tips and tricks for, like, how you're supposed to sequence your fetch lands with Mardu. Like, the correct sequencing is going to vary from game to game and match to match, depending on, like, the context of your hand and whether or not you have Blood Moon and other things of that nature. It's good to know that the only white source in our deck is a basic Plains. I'm not sure if that's right. Zero Sacred Foundry is probably wrong. No, I think we're just supposed to smash. Pretty sure we're just supposed to smash. Yeah, like, they're dead here if they don't. It looks like they're just dead, right? So, like, these come in and deal them 12, and then the Titan deals 12. I guess Helix technically lets them live for a turn, but they're probably dead long term. And letting them untap and play a fourth land gives them access to Cryptic Command, which is not ideal. There's an Emrakul in the sideboard. Hit that. Just good, clean turn 3 kill. Welcome to Modern. Enjoy your stay. I'm pretty sure this is an Emrakul in matchup, because this is probably game winning. I think I'm supposed to trim the Spirit Guides and bring in Chalices. How do we feel about that? I kind of like that, I think. Like, they're going to have paths and dispels and shit. that's fine. The ally deck was a little bit medium. It had a neat idea going on, but like the details were pretty bad. Yeah, I don't know that we need to rush into Chalice though. Like, I kind of don't mind trimming Spirit Guide because Spirit Guide is, like, more mana in our deck that already has a bunch of mana in it. Yeah, we lost so much magic today, I decided I had to actually win some tickets, so we're playing Valakut. I think I have a bunch of treasure chests still. I have 76 treasure chests. Probably gonna sell a good chunk of those before tomorrow. I probably want enough tickets for what, like a dozen leagues. Yeah, they're supposed to be bumping chests sometime soon, but I'd rather sell chests while they're low rather than... Oh, that's so bad. I wanted the mulligan for a ramp spell, but I don't think I'm going to go again. Hey, Steve-O Bandito. Steve-O Bandito. I don't know if the Nahiri splash is worth it either. Let's go on an adventure and find out together, shall we? Man, we lost like 10% of our viewers when we switched to Scapeshift. This archetype should be on the no-fly list for a reason. They don't have more lands. That's good for us. I opened the stream because of Scapeshift. Fair. So what you're telling me is I lost more than 10% of my viewers, but we lost some other degenerates came in and filled their shoes. I'm bidding a Summoner's Pact here. That sounds really terrible, Demi-Eyes. Yeah, Nahiri probably wins the game. There's a good chance. I guess they could, like, Bolter, untap Bolter. God, that's a good one. Alright, well, let's play this one around Mana Leak here. Hey, Tino. I'm the degenerate that's been here the whole time. Thanks for the bits. There's a deck list on your screen. If you're on mobile, you can type !deck in chat to get a link to a deck list. Playing this out allows me to, like, make my decisions here with a little bit more information. I think I'm going to bin this mountain. Let's go ahead and search. If they have, like, land Cryptic Command, they could bounce this. Otherwise, we get to Emrakul them next turn, which is most likely dead. If I hadn't drawn the forest off the Nahiri, I would get a forest with this, but because we did draw the forest, I'm gonna get a mountain. Spell Queller. Sure. Sure. I guess. This is our first match of the league. Sure. Seems good for us, unless they have, like, the Tension Sphere here. Yeah, I would definitely recommend, if you're starting a Magic Online, playing a deck that you're familiar with, so that way you're only learning the ins and outs of Magic Online to get started. The Magic Online economy is also extremely fluid, so it's very easy to change from one deck to another. It's not like paper Magic where it costs you a good deal of money to do so. Yeah, but I wanted to know they weren't going to Helix my Nahiri before I decided to kill their Queller, because I want to prioritize keeping my Nahiri in play. Was my goal there with my sequencing. I also get to play around... Nah, I guess it doesn't really play around Negate. Spin this land and draw a card here, see what we get. It is against the Hex TOS to sell platinum for cash. So the easiest way to turn platinum into cash in Hex is to sit on it until a new set releases and then sell booster packs for cash. You're allowed to sell booster packs for cash in Hex. You cannot, however, sell plat for cash directly. So we want to get an extra green source here, so that way our opponent can't cryptic bounce a land and then make us fail to pay for Pact. So I'm going to get a Valakut and a Stomping Ground here. Hex is a TCG, so they have a lot of secondary market bullshit. So it depends on where their market's at, how much the game costs to play. Their economy is kind of in a bubble currently, so some things are obnoxiously expensive, but other things are pretty cheap. They're working to bring the price of their game down overall, but it'll be interesting to see if they can do it fast enough. Well, that's unfortunate. That's disingenuous, Marty. There is one deck that costs $25 to build a budget version of. And it's fine, it's playable, but like, to say it all costs $25 is silly. Yeah, you can definitely build something competitive for $80 or much less than that. But there's also things that also cost more than that, so... No, they could have only killed one of my green sources. In fact, I got an extra green source there explicitly to play around them having something like they did. I was thinking of Cryptic Command, but Crumble to Dust is also a reason to do what I did. I'm actually just going to hold on to that, right? Yep. Yeah, it doesn't cost you any dollars to build a deck. Or to create an account. I could Scapeshift just to get lands out. Man, why isn't there a Kessel friend in this deck? We didn't bin Scapeshift because I can't cast Oath of Nissa anyways, and I might use the Scapeshift to thin my deck. I have a Chalice of the Void on one. Yeah, maybe. I couldn't cast Scapeshift this turn though, chat. I had to pay for Summoner's Pact. I'm interested to see if we see Colonnade fire up. I wonder, they probably don't have like Supreme Verdict in their deck post board, right? I'd be pretty surprised if they did at least. Actually, it's also funny, like, there's still just like an Emrakul left in our deck too, so like, if we just like ramp enough lands, we could maybe just like hard cast an Emrakul at some point here. think I'm gonna cast this Search and just pass. I don't want to play into a sweeper just in case they have one. For what people find enjoyable or not enjoyable to play in Magic is largely subjective. So for me personally, at least, the big reason I don't find Scapeshift very enjoyable to play with is because there aren't a ton of meaningful decision points for the deck a lot of the time. At least that's what it feels like to me. Alright, so since they tapped out, I'm actually going to play into a sweeper, because they, like, almost certainly have more cryptic commands than sweepers in their deck. So, sweeper me. Sweep me up, baby. Do I have enough mana producing lands to cast Emrakul? That's a good question. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. And there's one in my bed. I actually have 2 Cinder Glades in my deck, so we can actually hard cast the Emrakul here. What's your opinion on the Pina Colada song? So, we're gonna ultimate Nahiri and get Emrakul, because even if they cryptic command to tap my team, I have 15 mana to cast Emrakul. This is 6, 12, yeah, I have 15. Drawing Emrakul is great, I have 15 mana. She just went to 8, chat. This is the first time she's at 8 counters and we've untapped. They could upkeep, tap these, bounce the Nahiri. That's definitely a line. And then we'll get to replay the Nahiri and start taking her up again. Just like start over. There's also only 24 cards left in our deck, and we're like thinning a bunch of cards out every turn, which is great for us. Yeah, smells like Cryptic Command, and they're trying to figure out, like, what's the optimal line for their Cryptic Command. They definitely have to tap my idiots. That's interesting. They must put us on not having an Emrakul in our deck, right? Yeah, I bet they have double path, and they're putting us on not having Emrakul. Joke's on you. I don't know. I don't have scheduled Hex streams. Hex and Hearthstone don't make me any money in terms of stream content, so I just kind of stream them as I can. Let's make sure we don't misclick here. I would like this Squid Mama. Trigger. We definitely won this game on the back of Nahiri. Nice Crumble to Dust. Here's my spaghetti monster! Coming to get you. Her tentacly embrace. Her tentacly embrace. Trigger. Trigger. Clear. Get all that fucking lands out of here. Clean them out. Clear them out. Bin them. Bin them, baby. Can you feel the salt when they're like clicking through this? Just like fuming at their keyboard. Like, they have Emrakul in their Valakut deck? Why would they have Emrakul in their Valakut deck? Holy diva, look at you. I was gonna go for the permanent ban on that one too, but you beat me to it. You beat me to it. It's impressive how much insecurity you have to have as a player, a person, just like try and shit on random people on the internet. Just like, get a life. All right, well, we're waiting for the next match to pop. I'd just like to thank everyone for hanging out here. If you're enjoying my stuff, I may be insecure and not be a very good Magic player. But I play a lot of Magic on this channel, and thank you everyone for coming. I'm not upset. It's okay. Lots of trolls on the internet. I play Magic 30 plus hours a week here on the channel. We play a ton of Modern, we play some Legacy, we play some Vintage, play some other random card games on occasion. If you're enjoying my stuff, please consider subscribing to my channel. My subscribers are the people that keep me here day in and day out full time. You can also support my stuff by checking out some of my wonderful sponsors. Cardsphere.com would love to help you turn some of your cards into other cards or cash direct with other players. There's no haggling. They just take 1% fee off the top. Mack Weldon provides premium men's clothing. Using code Jeff Hogan at bit.ly/HugoClothes, you can save 20% on your first order of premium underwear, shirts, polos, socks, all sorts of great stuff there. And of course, this stream wouldn't be possible without viewers like Anoronix, Justin, Nivik, and all y'all out there. Thanks for hanging out today, folks. I do appreciate it. I Kill You asked, is this my main source of income? So this is my 9 to 5 job, so to speak, these days. So for a long time, I was a stay-at-home dad, and I was just streaming a little bit with the kids in the background as time permitted and the kids permitted. But this started making like a semi-real amount of income at the end of last year, so kind of amped it up and is making enough money that the kids can go to daycare now. So that's what we're doing, hanging out, playing some Magic, playing some Modern, playing some Legacy, some Vintage, some Cube on occasion. We cubed yesterday. That was weird. It was different. I don't know that it was bad, but it was definitely different. We should turn one Steve, right? So we should do turn one Steve. In Sweden, we get paid by the government. That's something. All right. Well, hey, this is Exile Target Blood Moon in our main deck, huh? This is Exile Target Blood Moon. It's also Exile Target Courser. It feels as brainless and as easy as I predicted it would be. Do I just derp the Titan into play, right? Do we just derp the Titan into play? I feel like I'm supposed to derp the Titan into play. Burp a derp, burp a burp. Hey, I can wait a turn. I can probably wait a turn. I feel like I want to just like kill the Courser, right? I think I'd rather kill the Courser. Like, the Titan's not anywhere near lethal, right? It would deal 12? Yeah, I'm just gonna do that. I don't know what Isolation Tower does. I've been streaming for the last 6 hours and haven't watched any of the spoilers. My article on Gathering Magic next week will probably be talking explicitly about M19 cards and impact I think they could have in Modern. Look at this incredibly fair thing my opponent is doing. It would have made Steve-O better, that's true. I'm just worried about like getting like Stone Rained off my planes next turn is the issue. Alright, so like now since I waited a turn here, I get to go ahead and put this into play, and then this gets Valakut plus a mountain, and then it's gonna attack and get 2 mountains, and then it's gonna mow my opponent into the ground. Nice Blood Moon Ponza deck, opponent. Do you think if my opponent loses to Valakut Titan with their Ponza deck, they're obligated to sell all their Magic cards? I feel like if you lose this match with Ponza, you're obligated to sell all of your Magic cards and just like never play your deck again. What do we think? Is that too extreme? This is probably an Emrakul matchup, right? Scapeshift is probably kind of mediocre. Do I want Anger of the Gods? Do I want Anger of the Gods against them? Scapeshift just seems pretty mediocre. Maybe I just want it as a payoff. Yeah, I'm just gonna leave it. Let's leave one in. Sell your cards and live in the mountains. I don't usually use the Moto chat, but I remember I was playing 4-color, I was playing Jeskai Splash of 4th color, and I beat my opponent playing Ponza, and as I put the lethal lightning bolt on the stack, I typed in chat, I'm pretty sure you're obligated to sell your deck after losing this match. Just like if your Ponza deck can't beat my 4-color pile of greed. Nahiri brings a main deck way to interact with Blood Moon. It also gives you a nice way to... These decks have a lot of air in them. They suffer from what I often refer to as ramp deck problems from drawing too much ramp or too many threats. And Nahiri is a threat that also lets you filter through your ramp to more additional threats. No 3-drop, huh? It's impressive. Nahiri is also often suspend to win the game. That is true. I agree with that assessment. Nahiri is very, very flexible. We threw the Breach Star Titan and our opponent conceded. Because magic is hard and we are good at it. Spins of eel! Spins of eel! Oh no, don't rain my Stern's opponent. I like my Stern's opponent. Stop. Stop, opponent, I like my stones. I didn't suspend search because I plan to cast search next turn. See? Well, I guess this gives them an opportunity to tag my basic planes here. If I just suspended it, they wouldn't have an opportunity to do this. So maybe that sequencing is bad. Yeah, I'd believe that sequencing could probably be bad. I mean, like, stone raining our deck isn't a very good plan. Like, they have, what, 12 stone rains in their deck? Our deck is like 40 land drops, basically. Like, the Bloodbraid Elf and the Inferno Titans are, like, way better than the stone rains. Like, the cards that actually kill me is how they win the game. Details on the Discord are here. So, this is naming red, right? So they have 1, 2, 3, 4... 10, so we are dead. All right. Get another game. Hey, CO Twitch. Thank you for the brand new Twitch Prime support and welcome. I do appreciate that. As always, my subscribers are the folks that keep me employed, so thanks for the support. Meh. We lost that game because of Inferno Titan. Not because of things Anger would have finished. Hey, this is just a turn. This is turn 3 Breach my Titan. This is turn 3 Breach my Titan. You gotta tell me why, chat. If you want to tell me I sideboarded wrong, you gotta be constructive about it. You need to say things like, I would bring in Anger on the play, and I would cut X. I would cut X because X is bad for Y reasons. You need to be specific and constructive if you want to tell me I'm dumb. Good luck tomorrow. Have some coffee. I actually don't drink coffee, but I'm going to get a 2-liter of soda. That nerd with the 2-month Twitch primary subscription. Thank you very much and welcome back. I appreciate it. Yep, that's a Blood Moon. Alright, so we're going to get a forest with this. And then we're actually going to get another forest with this other one because the Oath of Nissa is going to let us... Oath of Nissa will let us cast Nahiri if we find her. Oh, look at that. Remember when the children at home are like, what does Nahiri do for this deck? This is what Nahiri does for this deck. She saves us. She saves us from the big mean blood moon. Get out of here. Get out of here. Why not breach there? Because my Valakuts don't work. A SCTR with the brand new Twitch Prime support. There's a lot of people making a lot of great stuff on Twitch right now. Thanks for supporting mine this month. I do appreciate it. It depends on what you enjoy. If you enjoy playing interactive decks, you should play interactive decks. If you don't enjoy that, you should do something else. Wow. They have Lightning Bolton against us post-board? That is, let's call it interesting. Okay, so let's just breach this Titan now. So, do I just get, like, max Valakuts here? I feel like I just get max Valakuts, right? I could get, like, a Valakut and a mountain, and then they get double mountain, but I think, like, just having a bunch of Valakuts in play is better. If they have another Blood Moon, we're in trouble. Hey, look, piece of candy. I think I'm gonna cycle this, this Search for Tomorrow. Yeah, most of our decks just land at this point. Doomsayer MTG with that 3-month resubscription. Thanks a lot and welcome back, bud. Quarter of a year. Thanks for continuing to put up with me and remembering to re-up that Prime. So they can Titan us this turn, but even then we still have some live draws to kill them next turn. That's not a Titan. Things that are not a Titan for... I guess they could still Titan us, right? They could go land, untap this forest, play Titan. Chandra Flamecaller. Okay. So I'll go get a mountain here. And then we've got 2 shots at something that finds a mountain next turn. To, like, kill their board. I'm sure we're just gonna draw, like, running through the breaches here. Ding. So this gives us 3 triggers, which I'm going to send here, here, and here. Maybe this is wrong. I don't know. I think I'm just supposed to preserve my health total here. Like, so much of my deck is so very lethal at this point. So, like, keeping my Nahiri around has value, too. She, like, gives me more hits. That's not a Blood Moon. I guess they get 1 more shot at a Blood Moon, right? Because they can draw a card and then they have 3 mana off this Utopia Sprawled Land. Magic is a luxury hobby. It's expensive. It costs dollar bills to play. There are a lot of great board games that you can play that are very, very cheap. They're cost efficient to play with friends. Smoke if you got him, chat. Pour one out for my big Primeval Titan. Nice land destruction deck opponent. Again, like, this is why Blood Moon and Ponza in general are just, like, super rancid, right? Like, their deck isn't actually good against the things people talk about it being good against. Like, their land destruction disruption deck just lost to our 3-color big mana deck. Like, Ponza and Blood Moon are cards and decks that are there to prey on explicitly fair mid-range decks. It's just one of the many things that makes playing fair mid-range decks in Modern kind of... Yeah, Nahiri seems sweet. Nahiri seems sweet. Like, she's killed Blood Moons for us. She allowed us to kill our Jeskai opponent with an Emrakul after we got crumbled to dusted, right? Like, Green-Black Rock's a fine deck, but it definitely doesn't have a good Ponza matchup. It definitely doesn't have a good Valakut matchup. Emrakul is there for the matches where Nahiri getting Primeval Titan is not going to be enough. So there are a lot of matches where you just, like, fetch Primeval Titan with Nahiri's ultimate and then, like, that's enough to deal lethal with your lands, but, like, sometimes you need more than that. Well, can you explain why Emrakul is in the side? I have a command to explain why cards are where they are. I can try and rationalize why cards are where they are, but I didn't build this deck. This deck kills everything I love. You are not wrong. All All of the decks I enjoy playing in Magic the Gathering die to this one. You think Spirit Guide is good in this deck to get the early breaches? Now, I think I like the Spirit Guides. Yeah, I think they're reasonable. I don't know. I think Chalice of the Void, when it's good, it's great out of the sideboard. So, like, having Spirit Guide to help with that, too, is kind of neat. Yeah, it's weird. Harbinger of Tides, that's a good comment. Polluted Delta is not a typical card you see out of Merfolk. So, like, what are they doing that's different that they have Polluted Deltas in their deck? They could have, like, some kind of actual splash. I feel like if they have white, it's probably not a white splash, because with white splash, you have the blue-white Merfolk land. So, in response to this trigger, we'll sack this and go get a mountain. And then next turn, I'm going to be able to just, like, mow their entire board down, because we're going to, like, Pact for a Titan and put Titan into play. So if we draw a land for the turn, I can actually just hardcast Titan, which is nice. I do need to be a little bit conservative here because... Oh, that's not even true. I'm a liar. I would say they could spread us off of green sources, but I just get to get, like, green mountains. So, I guess Summoner's Pact. They're actually, like, just dead, right? We'll get double Valakut, and then we'll get double Mountain. No, they're not quite just dead, but they're pretty fucking close. Yeah, we only deal 18 here. We did multi-5 this game, didn't we? No, I can just get double Stomping Ground. So we'll get double Valakut here, and then we'll get double Stomping Ground when we attack. And I probably just want to shoot their board down, right? Just, like, make sure they have no board. The easiest way to get timed out is when you come back from a previous timeout and complain about having been timed out. It's a really good way to get timed out again. Yeah, I'm gonna make sure these guys sleep with the fishes. So this is only putting them to 7, which means we need 2 more mountains to kill them, which is, like, a touch awkward, but, like, they also have nothing in play here other than a Mutavault, so we should be okay. That's interesting. Okay. So, I didn't think about them spreading us off our Valakuts. Jeff is infringing on my free speech. Got your freedom of speech right here. This game right now is a good example of why this deck often comes up short against decks like Valakut, against decks like Storm and faster linear decks, is because while we turn 3 comboed our opponent, we didn't actually deal lethal when we comboed them. So, like, we need to draw more and have more things break our way in order to actually kill them. So, like, combo decks that like this have a lot of redundancy are good against fair decks, but against other degenerate decks in the format, they're kind of not that great. Yeah, we're dead. I'm gonna do that. That wasn't bad considering, like, we mulliganed to 5. And had some shots, had some outs to kill them there. Scapeshifts and Primeval Titans both did it. Should have cast Breach to see if they conceded. That's fair. That's fair. This hand's okay. Like, not super impressive, but fine. There's Through the Breaches in this deck, too. The Through the Breaches give it a little bit of legs in places that it doesn't normally have. So the Storm decks in Modern tend to play Lightning Bolt JMP, so attaching an anti-Storm effect to a card that is going to get Lightning Bolted is generally not ideal. You generally want to keep your anti-Storm cards on things that don't get Lightning Bolted. It does not have a Sacred Foundry, which I think is a mistake the more I'm playing it. The lack of a Sacred Foundry seems exceedingly awkward. If they just like tap out for a Merfolk here, we get to kill them next turn. They spread us off our Valakut. We can't kill them, but we can come close. Yay! They tapped out for a stupid Merfolk. Yay! Yay! Goes with decks not having a Sacred Foundry. I don't know why. People just hate their Sacred Foundries. I'll be right back. If the stream cuts out, it's because the weather outside is kind of absurd at the moment. It is currently raining sideways. Come on, opponent, you're dead on board. It's supposed to blow through real quick. There was a funnel cloud warning. But I haven't heard the sirens go off. If the sirens go off, we're gonna end the stream, and I'm gonna go find some stairs to hide under. But Are cornfield storms stronger than Chicago storms? I don't have a full basement, so the level that I'm streaming from right now is the bottom floor of my house that's halfway underground. Sounds fine, right? Do you have a tornado shelter like Twister? No, we're not actually in Tornado Alley. We do occasionally get them, but I don't think we've had any in the 5 years that I've lived here. Not any immediately near us. I think there was one that touched down in Atlanta, like half hour south of here. Atlanta, Illinois, not Atlanta. Atlanta, Georgia. Can we just have a storm stream of you hiding? Well, if I need to hide, I'm going to assume that I probably won't have internet. Stare at north, I'll put you up for a few days. Ooh, we found a piece of Primeval Titan shaped candy, chat. There, you probably can hear the rain. I can hear the rain through my window, which usually I can't hear it raining, which is what made me look outside. It's definitely like was blowing sideways when it came through a second ago. Yeah, there's some thunder going on too, for sure. I mean, like, I live in the middle of the plains, so we don't really have hurricane season. Can you take us outside? Alright, so we're gonna grab a mountain here and then cast this Nahiri probably. It's probably just like, is it Nahiri? Is Nahiri downtick on my spreading seas unreasonable? Downtick on the spreading seas unreasonable here? I almost feel like I want to do that. Well, the problem is they're going to kill Nahiri almost instantly. I could kill Silvergill Adept. Yeah, so like, am I okay trading Nahiri for like 2 points of damage and a spreading seas? That's probably not worthwhile. It's probably better to just kill the Silvergill Adept. Like, trading it for their board pressure, basically. Here's to keeping you employed while I suffer through another 6 weeks of conferences. Thank you, Cankle-Biter. I appreciate it. And they showed us another Silvergill Adept. Like, we know Nahiri's eating it here, but, like, we basically just need to, like, buy time till we get to Scapeshift them, right? Do we consider breaching a Titan flooping the piggy? That's, like, an important philosophical question. I'm not sure I know the answer. Is breaching Titan flooping the pig? They're down to 3 cards here. Which is easier, playing red-green? Well, playing red-green Titan Shift is, like, exceedingly easy, so... You need Floop the Pig merch. A pig is 7'7" or bigger. That's true. That's true. It's gotta be, you can't have, like, a little pig, right? Little baby pig. No, it's not flooping. So we're down to 9 here. We're fetching to 8. We're going to jam Titan into play and clean their board up here. I'm going to attempt a 24-hour stream tomorrow, yes. Yeah, I've talked about it with my wife. We probably should. I just need to, like, get up off my ass and actually do it. So we're going to get a Cinder Glade plus a second Valakut here and shoot down both their things on the board. Yeah, but I would have been dead, right? Like, they would have had a thing in place still, and then I'd have died. Like, the Nahiri gained me 2 health, and it killed the Silver God Adept, so, like, I'm at 8, I'd probably be dead. It is worth noting that this build only has 3 copies of Valakut in it, so I don't actually have a 4th Valakut to go get in the event that my opponent, like, has some chain spreading seas here. I actually have 2 open emote slots right now. This isn't a toolbox deck, it's a linear combo deck. Alright, so this Scapeshift is lethal, right? I have 13 mountains in my deck, we determined. So I have 7 left, so I can do 21. I can sacrifice 1, 2, 6, 7, 8. Playing JC against Lantern, do I bring in Leyline or just click submit? Probably just click submit, Rick. No, actually, Lantern's probably better than Silence. Silence is probably annoying. Silence is probably annoying. Are probably just not, like, not good. There we go. I think I just want to kill their idiots here. Just, like, be as conservative as possible, basically. This is quite possibly the hardest league I've ever played. It's quite possibly the most complex and interesting and interactive games of Magic that have been played on this stream year to date. It's a very, very difficult and complex deck that offers you with a lot of meaningful decisions and complicated lines to outplay your opponent. I slam my mountains into play now. Do 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 do. Show me where this deck is very good. If you are looking for a modern deck that is powerful and is going to win you games and matches of Magic, this is a great fucking deck to play. If you are looking for a deck with complex decisions and engaging gameplay, this is not that deck. This deck does not generate those things. This deck and archetype are very, very good. Anyone that tries to tell you this archetype isn't good doesn't understand or hasn't played with or against it enough. It's not interesting. This deck is great against the decks that people that like to feel smart play in Modern. I mean, let me tell you, that is definitely the case. The decks that the people that think they're better at Magic than they are, the decks that those people like to play, this deck shits all over those decks. All the feel smart decks in Modern, they die in a fucking blaze to this one. And it's not close. Alright, so if we draw a Primeval Titan next turn, they should be dead. We have played, not the mono blue one. We played some weird Grixis deck. So we've got 7 Primeval Titans in our deck to draw 2. 3 packs and 4 actual Titans for people that are new. I guess I go get this basic plains here, so if we draw Nahiri, we can cast it. Can you give us example of feel smart decks? Jeskai control, blue-white control, green-black mid-range, Jund. All of the fair mid-range and control decks that consistently see play in Modern, even though they're pretty fucking terrible. Mardu Pyromancer. Fairies. Definitely fairies. Most of the decks I love playing on this stream are feel smart decks. They are not particularly powerful, but they let me feel intelligent while I play them. I didn't say the feel smart decks were bad. I just said this deck is very good against the decks that I would consider feel smart decks. They are the decks that people that think they are good at Magic, and maybe they are good at Magic, but they're decks that people that think they're good at Magic definitely like playing. My piggies run away. My piggy won't come home to roost. My piggy thinks I don't love him. And it breaks my heart that my piggy lost. I lost my piggy, chat. Does anybody know where I left my piggy? My piggy doesn't love me no more. My piggy doesn't love me no more. All right, one more draw at the pig here. Scapeshift also lethal, so 9 lethal draws. Karn stole the pig. Alright, so this is definitely a Chalice of the Void matchup. I'm probably supposed to just trim Nahiri's here, right? I think I just like trim Nahiri's and Oath of Nissa's. Run it. Chalice is not great in a lot of places in Modern, but this is one of the places where it really shines. It's quite fantastical here. Oath of Nissa does dig for pigs, you're not wrong. But I think I like just trimming that when I'm boarding out Nahiri's and boarding in Chalice of the Void for 1. Oh, geez. I totally forgot about Leyline. I completely forgot about Leyline. All right, match 5. Let's go. Do 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 do. This is making me want to put Nahiri into 4-color Bring to Light Scapeshift. Yeah, no Rex Sage is interesting. I also feel like with the white mana, maybe you could play Godek Teague. That's probably overteching. Yeah, no Rex Sage is probably bad. No Rex Sage, no Sacred Foundry. I think are my two primary pieces of feedback on the deck list. There should be a Rex Sage, at least in the board, and there should definitely be a Sacred Foundry in the mana base. Like, just cut a basic mountain and put a Sacred Foundry in. Give me one more Field Smart deck to beat. One more person that thinks they're the gosh darn greatest modern player in the world. So we can get him. So we can get him with our big Primeval Titans. Big, scurry Primeval Titans. This is going to be my last match of the day, folks. Thanks, everyone, for hanging out through the end. I do appreciate it. My name is Jeff Hoagland. I'll be back here tomorrow at 9 a.m. Central Standard Time. For those of you that haven't been keeping up on what's going on the channel, tomorrow, starting at 9 a.m., is going to be our first attempt at a 24-hour stream in a very long time. It's been a long while since I've tried that, so I'm going to get a good night's sleep tonight. We're going to see if we can make that happen. We're going to be playing nothing but Goblin Guide and Lightning Bolt decks for the 24 hours of the stream as Hoaglandia burns to the ground around us. I am the greatest modern player in the world. You can 5-0 with all kinds of basic islands in the mana base. I'll donate $5,000 dues. I don't know what that means, Eneronix. Do I have a list of the different burn decks that we play? Yep, in the donation queue, there is a separate tab on the spreadsheet. If you go to the donation queue link, there is a tab on the spreadsheet that's got a bunch of burn decks listed in it. There is a Claim to Fame Vexing Devil deck. I don't actually think that deck list is listed. The Black-Red Death Shadow, though, is the Claim to Fame Vexing Devil deck. That will 10 out of 10 be what you're asking about there. It will unfortunately be a Pigless stream. Yay, Hallowed Fountain! Yay, Hallowed Fountain decks! Yay! Yay! I'm actually just gonna jam Nahiri next turn, because a lot of these decks have moved off of Mana Leak onto Logic Knot. Like, there's a chance we get Mana Leaked here, but I think it's right to just, like, get while they get this good here. Nah, it doesn't lose you much at all, I don't think. They added Through the Breach and Nahiri to it, so it was different enough from normal red-green Valakut that I decided to play it, but in the end, it's really not that different. This deck is good at least. Like, we're going to make a treasure chest or two with it, which is nice. Oh, you Helix my Nahiri but can't finish her. That's good for me. That's, like, exceedingly good for me. I will say this. It does feel good to just be killing Jeskai players as opposed to, like, trying to slog things out with them. Like, a lot of the decks we play on this stream is just like, buckle up, you're in for a grindy match. Here we're just like, nah, bro, I'm gonna kill you. Is that cool? Is that cool, dog? You cool with dying? Alright, first of 3 cards that you have to counter or you will die. They could counterbounce Nahiri here. Okay. If we draw a land next turn, we can go Nahiri, and then if they Cryptic her, we can Scapeshift and kill them. But we need to draw untapped land explicitly to do that. I'm actually going to wait a turn here. Just going to play this Valakut and pass the turn. This way they have to have 2 counter spells next turn. So for people that aren't familiar with Scapeshift, how Scapeshift math works is on 7 lands, you can deal 18 damage with Scapeshift, but on 8 lands, you can deal 36 damage with Scapeshift. So deal a lot more with one more land, because you get to get 2 Scapeshift, 2 Valakuts out. Yep. You got me. Just want to see the Kappa head bounce off the top of the cup. 7 heads for everyone! Alright, so they need double counterspell here. Or they could just let the Nahiri resolve too. I think I'm just gonna pass here. I'm just gonna pass. Yeah, it's dangerous to get 2 Valakuts on 8 lands because they could Cryptic bounce a land, that is correct. So we're not under nearly enough pressure to like jam here. I also don't really want to jam my Scapeshift into a mana leak, which is something that could happen currently. So like, they know our hand is the stone, so we didn't discard a card to Nahiri. Nahiri also just goes like tick tick and threatens to boom, so. Yeah, a lot of them have been all in on Logic Knot and less in on Mana Leak. I'm just gonna keep all these cards in my hand. There's no reason to discard potential threats here. Like, threats are all we want at this point. Cards that can win the game are what we want. We gonna see counter bounce again here. Yep. Go. How many more cryptic commands do you have? Maybe. It depends on what they do here. Like, there's a good chance. A lot of these Jeskai decks have been, like, full greed on 4 cryptic commands, so I'm probably going to wait until I draw a 9th land to jam the Scapeshift, just so I can, like, not get put off of bouncing it. So we really want to draw land here, so that way we can Scapeshift and not be worried about Cryptic bouncing a land. Perfect. Tomorrow morning, starting 9 a.m. So that's 6. So let's look at 5 mountains, which will deal 30 to my opponent. right? That was the reason I decided to play it, Jap, but it's pretty much just as brain dead as the straight red-green version, as far as gameplay goes. I don't think I'd take this as a deck to play again. It's very good, I just don't find it particularly interesting or engaging to play. And again, if you were interested in playing this deck, I think Nahiri actually had something sweet to this archetype. I would put a Sacred Foundry in the mana base over one of the basic mountains, and I would put a Rex Sage in the sideboard. Probably over one of the Stony Silences. Yeah, it's basically red-green Titan Splash Nahiri. I would not play a Wolf Run. That was a joke earlier. Wolf Run is really bad. Do this. Let's do this. Sometimes you miss click lethal. To be fair, as far as executing combos on Magic Online goes, Valakut's not the easiest. There's a lot of chances to click on the wrong things. The matchup is insane for JAC, Rick. It's so good. You just have so many cantrips you can kill them through Ensnaring Bridge. No, the opponent's playing a control deck. Almost certainly. They're likely their only creature is Snapcaster Mage. Yeah, basically, Ginger. Decks where you want it for decks where breaching or Nahiriing a Primeval Titan is not going to be good enough to end the game. And also in a matchup like this, we can just like get to 15 lands and like cast Emrakul, which is great. Countering that's true. There's a special segment of hell where all you do there is counter Flusterstorms with Flusterstorms. Easy mulligan here, or easy keep. Sorry, opponent mulligan is what I meant to say. Opponent mulligan, and we have an easy keep. Serum Visions resolves. Probably fetch Stomping Ground here. Yep. Cast this Oath of Nissa. Wow, I got some choices. Like it's just basic mountain, right? I guess I get this just in case I want to fetch basic planes. In case they like counter my Steve and my Farseek. So I could like counter Steve, counter Farseek, and then I could fetch basic planes to cast the Nahiri anyways. Play the long game and take ME. Yeah, Oath of Nissa helps you cast... Oh, I guess I don't need the planes to have Oath of Nissa. Yeah, that's true too. We did get game one. And this is also a matchup where like you'd want to board in Rex Sage for like random hateful enchantments they could have. And again, we don't have access to that, which kind of sucks. Maybe I'm supposed to Farseek there, because if they tap out, I want to just slam Nahiri. Man, that thing is so out of here. The fact that Nahiri exiles random enchantments is so good. If they have like Bolt, I feel a little bit bad, but I definitely just want to take their search off the table. That's a card that can bury us as the game goes long, and this is definitely a match that tends to go long as we play through the disruption. Yeah, Jeskai doesn't play cards like Spell Pierce usually. I was just making sure they didn't Spell Pierce us before I timed out Foster there. Just give them the benefit of the Jeskai player playing the weird card. And got it. Boop. Boop, boop, you're right on the nose. Boop, boop, you're on the nose. Just get him. Get him. Ooh, is that a good one, chat? Such a skillful game of Magic the Gathering that we could play. Such a skillful game. It's really tough. Get a counter bounce here. All right. I assume that means they have a counterspell for this next turn. They have Teferi here as well. Alright, well, in the event that their counterspells negate, I'm definitely Primeval Titaning next turn. Primeval Titaning next turn also allows me to hold 2 4-mana spells in my hand, so that way when I eventually hit 8 mana, I can go 4-mana threat in the same turn. Which is nice. And we just drew a backup Titan. Maybe I should have played the Valakut last turn. They could have a Logic Knot here. I definitely think it's right to play this, not only because it plays around a potential negate, but it also, like I said, does other stuff. I think I'm gonna get Cinder Glade Valakut here. Just throw one here. Yeah, I would have been able to kill the Teferi if I would have played this last turn. I was like kind of scared of the Field of Ruin, but like the way my things were gonna line up. Oh, geez, well that's great for us. So opponent messed up here. If you're gonna path the Titan, you need to do it in response to the trigger, so that way I don't get to get a trigger off it like this. So, because of my opponent's missequencing here, I get to kill their Teferi. That's a pretty big game for us. I should have gotten Stomping Ground there, because Stomping Ground's gonna cost me life to put into play untapped, and Cinder Glade wouldn't. And that's a really small thing. It's really easy to mess that up if you're not super familiar with the deck that I'm playing. So, like, I don't fault the opponent for not being super familiar with that interaction. It's one of those things that you kind of pick up on when someone tells you or you've played against this deck a few times, and then it becomes more intuitive. My opponent just commented in chat that they should have done it in response to the ETB, and I was like, if you watch the replay, you'll hear me suggest that. Okay, so they don't have Cryptic Command up this turn, so do I just like Scapeshift? I think I just Scapeshift, right? GG's opponent. Alrighty. Well, 4-1 after missed sideboard against Bogles. Like I said, I I think this deck is very good. I think if you're looking for a deck to play that's very powerful, actually like, I don't have a ton of experience with like straight red-green Scapeshift, but Nahiri felt good in the games where we played her there, and so did the Through the Breaches. So if you are someone that enjoys this archetype, or you just want to smork people with it, I think this is a very reasonable build. Like I said, I would put a Sacred Foundry over a basic mountain, and I would get a Rex Sage either in the, probably in the sideboard. But I like the core of a lot of what else that this deck is doing. I am signing off for the day. I'm going to publish a bunch of stuff on YouTube. I've been going for almost 7 hours. So if you didn't catch all of that, it'll be live on YouTube shortly. I'll be back tomorrow starting at 9 a.m. for an attempted 24-hour stint of lighting people on fire while Hoaglandia burns to the ground around us. I'll catch all y'all around later, folks. Thanks for the support as always. See you tomorrow, hopefully.